Okay, so arriving to London with one suitcase and a dream. I took out from that title, because it was too long, staying the night at Victoria Station. You cannot sleep at Victoria Station, only on the floor. You don't have benches, you don't have anything. So we all know what happened in Israel. We're not going to go back there. We're just going to the day, which was the 9th of September 1996, that I took a charter flight from Israel to Gatwick Airport. Now, I didn't plan to do it. It's all happened after Keep Going that I decided to release Beauty of the Duty, but look how the synchronicity of life that we are, I think, what's the day today? Today is the 13th. So the 13th, only a few days away, that I came here in 1996. So I just feel so good that I'm closing such a cycle in my life. So it's all God's work. So I arrive in the middle of the night. It was a charter flight. And from Gatwick, I took the train to Victoria Station. And the time was around 4:35 a.m. I knew that I'm going to have for 2 weeks a flat in Hampstead through someone that was my lawyer in Israel. So that was a guarantee stay, but I didn't have anything for the first week. So I went online and booked something in the area of Kensington, because Kensington, I remember from the old days, a posh place. So here I am on the platform of Victoria. All the people from the trains are going, but I'm staying with this huge suitcase because, you know why? Because I'm silly. Because I didn't have the confidence, because I came only with few £100, to go and take a black cab to a place that I don't know. I just was saving money, not having the confidence, which I'm sure it's happened to many of us in life, that we prefer to wait an hour and to go with the underground. But suddenly I had an embarrassed situation that someone that used to work for my ex-husband in the club hotel that sells time sharing was seeing me. Hi, Tali. Hi. The conversation didn't last for too long. I was very diplomatic not to exactly say what I'm doing and where I'm going. But here I am. I met him and it was embarrassing, but you move on. And then 6 o'clock, I think it's 6 o'clock, the underground starts. So I'm carrying the suitcase and walking to this hotel. No Google map, no mobile, no nothing. So I'm getting there and entering to that hostel. Even a hostel would have been a compliment. The smell was just horrible. Cans of beers in the not lobby, in that space, no receptionist, and cigarette. At this time, people still were able to smoke cigarettes. And I entered there and I'm saying, up to here, enough is enough. I can wait for taxi for an hour, but being in dirty place like this, I'm not staying here. But that was a bit stressful. So luckily, it's always luckily, because I always create this luck, but it is. So I had a phone call of bed and breakfast that I only received a week before I came to London. I went to a spiritual lecture, and the guy that gave the talk said, "Oh, it's a spiritual lady, go there. She's Israeli." So at 6:45, I had the chutzpah to call this bed and breakfast. And a lovely lady answered to me. So I said to her, "Listen, I'm in a disaster. I'm in Kensington. It's horrible. I cannot stay here. Do you have a room for me?" She said, "Yes, yes, come." So this is Kensington. I don't even remember south, west, but Kensington I remember. And she was in Burnt Oak, one stop before the end of the Northern Line. So it's over an hour, changing platforms, something that I didn't remember, because remember, I was in London the last time when I was 21, when I left that golden cage then. So I come to this area, Burnt Oak, walking with the suitcase, coming to the lady. She was old lady in the 70s, late 70s, I would say. Her daughter, that she was a contact, was not there. And she was so nice and so mothery, and she saw my state. Remember, I fly the day before, hours before you have to go, travel from Haifa. I was in a state, and my hand was hurting of carrying this suitcase because I had to go so many stairs. So I said to her, "Can I go and sleep?" She said, "Of course." So I went to sleep. We didn't even talk about how much, how long, nothing. She trusts me. So here I am sleeping. You know, how is it when you sleep a deep sleep for 2 hours after not sleeping for 24 hours or more? And I wake up and I go to the living room. She makes a tea for me. And suddenly the fax machine started to make noise. And paper started to come out of the fax machine, paper after paper after paper, and it was stuck there in the furniture. So I just went to move it, and I was nosy to see how many papers. And guess what? I saw the word record companies, publishers, and I said, "What is this?" Now, I came to London with one suitcase and a dream and only 3 contacts. One is Joel Rockman, which I sang to him today, my friend that wrote the lyric 2 Kisses and almost died from the COVID. And 2 is the mother and the brother of Sacha Baron Cohen, the famous Sacha Baron Cohen, Ali G. That is through a girlfriend that was competing me when I was Miss Water Ronelli. She's my friend on Facebook. So I had only 3 numbers, and suddenly I get all the record labels and the publishing contacts in the UK. Would you call it a miracle? I would call it a miracle. So when Sarah, the elderly lady, came, and I said to her, "What is this?" She said, "Oh, my grandchild. He's kind of doing remixes, DJ, and he wants to work in anywhere in the record industry, even to make a tea. Like, you know, I have internship people that helping me with my campaign, you know, it's so good to be in that environment." So a friend of them from Israel that worked for a record label in Israel that has all the contacts, send it to him. But I got it. And that was my first miracle. Now, at the time before I left to London, I think I mentioned in the past, I had a very close friend that she was my acting teacher. She's a very big inspiration in my life. Because of her, I became spiritual. I didn't know what's the word spiritual even before. And she ran courses of a book called The Course of Miracle. It's a very thick book. People that know this book really appreciate it. It's not religious or not anything, but very spiritual. And every day you have like an exercise to train yourself to see the magic of life. Now, because the book, she gave me the book, but because it was so thick, I copied 40 pages and I had them with me. So that was the first miracle, and she also helped me to write this beautiful song, in the words, not the music, because my English was not so good. This song, oh, I sang it in so many places when I came to London, and even a cappella, and it's just a lovely song. And the Drifters, one of the Drifters that stayed in life, played it to Bacharach, and he thought the melody is great, was not sure about the lyric, but that was a big compliment. So I'm just gonna sing it to you so I also feel a little bit, you know. It's called Silence. So, yes, so that was the first miracle, and I think it was just arrived to London and the universe sent me that beauty. And now we're going to go into the second miracle. And the second miracle was when I knew I want to go to a place called The Orange. That's a place for open mic where singer-songwriters can go and sing there and just turn up, or that was more established place, one of the most important places for singer-songwriters. And I had a tape and I called them. They said, you have to come and bring the tape. I was still, it's only my second, third day, so I didn't really have the how do you say, the ability to send letters. Okay, so on that day, I was lighting a candle, a Jewish candle, a memorial candle for a famous rabbi called the Rabbi that owned the miracle. Because, it's a logical thing. When someone is in a down place, he search for all kinds of things. And even if they're not really happening, it makes you feel good. It's the intention of doing something good. So a rabbi told me in Israel, light a candle on that day. So I have done it, and I came to the venue, and I came early. So, and by the way, I told the bed and breakfast that I have a candle in my room because, it was a little bit, I said, I've got a candle, but okay. So I arrived early, and when it was close to the time of the doors opening, I went and stood first in the queue, and a guy came to stand near me. He looked young, he looked nice, he looked cool, he looked square, but not in a bad way. He didn't look dangerous. So I started to chat with him, and he asked me what I'm doing. I told him came to England to make my dream come true and came to give my tape. What are you doing? He said, I work in Arista Records as an A&R. A&R is the people that responsible artist relations. So when people want to be signed by a record label, they need to call and say, can I speak with an A&R? I said, really? Oh, wow. Can I let you hear my tape? Come to your office and hear my tape? He said, of course. Because what I forgot to tell you, although I put everything here, I forgot to tell you, I had all the lists of all these numbers, but I didn't have a mobile. When you come to London, you need address, you need the money, you need bank account to have a mobile. In 96, that's how it was. Maybe these days it's a bit easy, but it's a process. So I had all these all these record and publishers, but I didn't have a way to call them. So I went to a public phone with many 25 coins and called record company. And some of the answer would say, oh, send us a demo, which I cannot send you a demo. I came with maybe 3 tapes. I cannot send you a demo, number one. Number two, oh, we only accept solicited material, meaning it's only need to go through a lawyer. Number 3, oh, he's not here. He's on the phone. And the 25p just gone and gone and gone and gone. Until the 3rd day. But I'll come to that 3rd day in a minute because I jumped. Let me tell you what happened with this Adrian. We came together to the Orange, to the venue, started to chat, and the music started. All kind of different singer-songwriters that come and sing. And he come to check to see if there is a talent. So he's very critical. I'm very critical as well. Also on myself. I'm so critical when I hear others and myself. If my auntie's here, no, it doesn't matter, but I see people and just, but I criticize myself as well. So we both didn't think it was like, wow. So in the middle, when there was a break, he said, shall we leave? I said, yes, because we really got on together. He said, do you like to come to my flat and play me your demo? Let's get a bottle of wine, because we drank there a glass of wine. And I felt safe. I felt that I can go to this guy's flat. But just think about it. I only arrived to London. It's my first week. And a guy is inviting me to his flat. But I always trust your intuition. Always trust your intuition. And I felt really good. So I went to him. And he shared with me that he was dealing, so as an A&R for Arista record, top A&R, he was dealing with Lisa Stansfield and the legend Whitney Houston. This is the singers, but he was not so much into pop. And then I played him my first song, which was on acoustic guitar, a demo, and he said, "Oh, wow, it was a very strong song. I will upload it. It's a demo, but I will upload it on SoundCloud. I will upload stuff that I never released, so you can hear it. It's called Walked Away. Someone that broke my heart, a singer-songwriter in Israel, which I shared with you in the last episode, that he was really not behaving right in the Eurovision time. So then he heard the other song, the second song, Homemade Gown, which I will play in a minute. And he said to me, "Listen, Tali, you can make it. You can make it internationally." What could I ask more? An A&R from Arista Record give me credibility that dream of coming with one suitcase has hope. Has hope. So I was thrilled. And he said to me, Clive Davis, which he's the one that made Whitney Houston, and he's like one of the legends in the music industry, was exactly in the UK. He said, "I'm wanting to hear your music, your voice." Wow. I said, this is a real Cinderella story, isn't it? So we'll come back to what happened with this in a second. In the meantime, I'm in the public phone, not getting anywhere. But after few days, and I checked it in my diary, because I found a diary that I made a mistake. I wrote 12th of the 8th, 96, but it cannot be, because it's 12th of the 9th, because I arrived on the 9th. So we are talking only 3 days after I arrived. So obviously I was on fire. So after 3 days that all these record companies say, "Oh, send us a demo," or not getting anywhere, and had already this response from this guy, it was a good day. I said, "I'm gonna make it this." And I told the guy that answered my phone, I could sense that he's friendly. You know, you can hear in voices if someone is nice, if he's open. And I said to him, "You must meet me. I'm nice and talented." So I got the meeting. Avex. Avex is a big Japanese label. These days, at the time, the manager was a handsome man called Song, that a lot of you know him, and he, after that he left Avex, became my accountant and my friend and helped me in so many situations. So he didn't know me then, but I came to my first meeting in the West End with my best outfit, Sloane Square, office of Paul McCartney is here, and Avex is here. A whole building. Wow. I come there and I play them my very, very down-tempo songs. He said, wow, you've got a voice. It's not for our department, but I like you to go to the publishing, immediately contact the publishing and just say hello to some of you here. He immediately contact the publishing and I met this lady called Ali, and she loved my material. She loved my music. And then she said, I think we would like to sign you. I just need to speak with my manager. So, hey, I came to London, and in a week, I had the guy from all the contacts. Then I had Adrian from Arista Records. And then I had Avex. Okay. So what happens next is, it was exactly the Jewish New Year. I remember that because my sister was flying to America through the UK and we went for a meal, and you know, on Friday is the Jewish New Year and I'm so excited and I'm releasing my single. So I remember it very vivid. I felt really bad because Adrian didn't contact me. But how could he contact me? I didn't have a mobile. He had the bed and breakfast number, but the owner was not very happy that I would get their phone. So after a few days, I decided to call him. And he said, I wanted to call you, but I didn't know what to do. Sadly, I missed Clive Davis on that morning when I came to play your demo. And I played it to Martin Heath, the famous Martin Heath that everyone knows him in the music industry. He had many hits. He's the founder of The Killers and so many others, and he was at the time the head of Arista Records. He played in my tape, and Martin did not get me and did not like my accent. I wouldn't call it Israeli accent, but we know I've got accent. Some people love it. He didn't. He didn't get it. But you know what? The word is round. 7 years after, I'm just fast forwarding, someone wanted to introduce me to this Martin Heath when he was not in Arista Records. And I said, I must meet this man that stopped me from being Cinderella in my first week. And they told him that I will be in touch. I sent him a photograph of such a sexy, my back, Tally K, just back, woo, and a demo. So he came, he contacted me very fast and came to my flat. And I told him for 7 years, I was planning to tell you that. I don't like to use the word hate, but I didn't feel good about you for the last 7 years because you stopped my dream of being Cinderella. But you know what? He didn't get me even then. I don't think he get me now. We wrote a song on that day. We became friends. C'est la vie. Not everyone can get you, and it's fine. Some people, I just sing a song and they love it. Some people do not. All good. So the dream of being Cinderella is gone, but Adrian became a friend. We met and he offered me to come and stay in his sofa in the living room until I find a solution, because I left Burnt Oak. I now needed a place because I had a place in Hampstead, but it was not ready yet. So I lived in Bond Street with someone from a record label, and it was lovely, lovely. Oh, bless me, it means that it's right. It was a really, really lovely experience to live with him, play him demos, learn more about the industry, and that's it. So I do like to play you now the song Homemade Gown, the song that he said wow, and it's quite a strong song, and yeah, I was kind of crying when I rehearsed it, but I'm not gonna cry now. So here we are. Oops. Okay, Homemade Gown. I just forgot to say, Steve, you're here. I actually want to sing it, I sing it to all of you, but to you especially, because number one, you're a birthday boy this week. Number two, you are my biggest fan. Number three, you wrote with me a song called Smile Again. And that song is definitely about smile. And, you know, Simon always said to me, this Steve is so loyal. I hope you will have 1,000, but I do have, because you're all there. Gustavo, Malcolm, Becky, and John, and I really feel it's all growing, it's all happening, but my story is just unbelievable, what I've done and what I haven't done. Homemade Gown. Little girl born in the morning near the ocean, a child of waves, comes and goes, emotions, pretty child, barefoot on the pebbles wall, an ocean. She was smiling then, nothing can be more important. Time can never feel the same, always passing by. Nothing can be more important. Pretty girl is walking in town. She's wearing homemade gown. Where other people no one see, she's sinking in the ground. I think I'm gonna lose my mind. I wanna try to find my mother. I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Wanna try for you. I wanna try. She built a shelter out of thorns. She forgot the smell of flowers. The only hope she had, she never stopped believing in others. Time can never feel the same, always passing by. Nothing can be more important. There's a smile, smile. She never stopped smiling. Nothing can be more important. try for you. I wanna try. Little girl born in the morning near the ocean. She was smiling. Nothing can be more important. Yes, felt a bit emotional. A deep song that was written in Israel in the hard time after the Eurovision, before coming to England. But the good news was that Avex, the publishing company, now wanted to sign me. They arranged me a gig for later on in Dingwalls. They said they want to have a big gig there and invite labels. They gave me just a brief contract to read. And isn't it amazing that I found a diary from writing in the tube? I just never knew that I wrote so much. But what is amazing is that this is 96. It's almost identical to what I wanted to do, to my mission, to everything I am about. It's showing how we are growing in life. The idea was always there. So I'm only going to read to you a few lines here. So obviously I'm saying here that I'm inside the train, and I'm saying the fact that now I'm relaxed and excited that I got a deal, or more to say, maybe through getting the deal I took. Oh my God, can you imagine? This is Okado, bringing me, they said 10 o'clock, let me just say that I'm busy. Hello? Oh, you said 10 o'clock and I'm in the middle of streaming, so I'm opening the door. Can you just put it near my door? That was not Okado, it was Amazon. I ordered myself skipping rope, so because I'm in lockdown and I need just to have a little bit of exercise, so I shouted on him, oh, why did you come now? We said 10 o'clock. Okay, so I wrote to myself in the diary, so I feel excited that I got the contract, or more to say that I took the pattern or the unconscious pattern that I'm unwanted, that I'm unloved, that I don't deserve, and everything goes hard in my life. And this is a time to prove that being with courage and to enjoy, to do the thing that I love the most, which is music, that is it. The sadness will never leave me. Always it will be with me. But that is my real connection to the music, to love. So that was just so amazing to find it yesterday and to find the passport to really get the day together. But we do have a third miracle. We do have a third miracle. And the third miracle, that's the one that made me stay in London forever, right now, at this stage. So that's quite exciting. I don't see if she's here on the page, but it doesn't matter. Right. Just want to make sure that I didn't forget anything. No, I didn't. So here I am, moving from place to place. And I'm on the tube, the Victoria line, going to Dave Stewart Publishing Company, another company that, not publishing, record label. I am on my way and I'm sitting on the tube in a 4-seat carriage. A guy started to chat with me. I'm friendly. And he was a tourist, because in my 20 years in England, I don't remember many people chat with you on the tube. It's not an English thing. So he started to talk to me and he said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Oh, I came to make my dream come true." Next to me, there was a lady in kind of her 50s, mid-50s. Looked very English and not necessarily rock and roll. She didn't look rock and roll. But she was sitting near us. And when I said to him that I came to do my dream happen, he asked me, "What are you doing?" So I said, "I am a singer-songwriter." So she interrupted the conversation. Can you imagine? An English person interrupt a conversation. That's amazing. And said, "I'm a songwriter too." Not exactly like that, but she has an English accent. I'm with all these miracles, pages in my bag. I'm saying, wow, what is going on? So I looked at her and I posed and I said, "Did you read the book Celestial Prophecy?" This book at the time was a huge hit. And it's about, if you haven't read it, it's about coincidence. That nothing in life is coincidence. It's not coincidence that Malcolm, that Steve, that all of you, each one of you, we have to give something to each other. So nothing is coincidence, but meeting on a tube while someone is chatting with me, saying I'm a songwriter. She read the Celestial Prophecy. So I said to her, "Right. My stop, my station that I have to arrive is very soon. Give me your phone number." And she gave me her phone number. So the meeting with the management was good. I have to say something to all of you songwriters or musicians that are watching me. I never followed meetings. I never followed phone calls. And that is a huge, huge, huge mistake, because we don't like the rejection. We don't like the rejection. And it's never rejection. It's actually, you don't suit that particular label or manager. If you think you're good, nothing is rejection. Because I don't accept people as well. And it's not because they're not good, they're just not right for me. Musicians and all kind of people in the art world. So I remember the Dave Stewart, they really got excited of my voice and everything, but I never followed it up. So that's me. Don't be like me, Becky. If you send your tape, you need to follow up and follow and follow and nudge until you're 100% sure that this contact is not good for you. Right. So I called Barbara. Many of you know that TCK, my label, people that work with me, lately I called her Barbie. I just made her to Barbie, because I'm very, very close to her. Very much now since Simon died, she's very big part of my life. But I came to see her in Enfield town, quite far away from where I was. Hampstead, you need to take it underground and then overground. And I came to her lovely house. I liked it immediately. It had just a cozy and wonderful feeling. And we just got on immediately together, and no wonder why. She born a day before me, the 5th of May. So she's a Taurus, friendly and nice. And she worked with a producer, songwriter called John, and they need vocalists like me, or people that write music. So for them, it was an attraction to find me. So guess what? She offered me to live in a house, for free for a few months in the most lovely, beautiful, sweet room. So here I am, getting a stranger in the tube and offered to come and stay with them. This is just beyond words, those miracles. And if you remember the last episode when I told you about this weird guy that CEOs who told me to come to London, he said, London will be either good or not good. Don't stay more than 6 months. So London was good to me, welcoming me so beautifully. So I looked today at the passport to understand what really happened, because I remember the saddest moment of my life, almost going back to Israel to bring another suitcase and leave my dog behind. Because remember, at the beginning it was just a trip. I didn't know that I would move to the UK forever and become British. So it was quite a difficult journey to Israel to go and leave all behind. And I think the work with John and Barbara was exciting, because suddenly I'm working with English people, producer, but it was taking me to a different direction, much more mainstream. And that is the key, is to have kind of direction of your music, which was one of my biggest mistakes all the way through. But nothing is mistake if you feel complete with that. So I just want to say to Barbie, if you watch me, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for your friendship. And I saw in my passport today, I arrived to London on the 1st of November 1996. And as you're going to see me every day, you don't have to, but every day towards the release, I'm going to have the streaming. It's all for a reason. So I going to end with Beauty of the Duty, just a cappella, and not a cappella, just one verse on a piano, very different from the way it is always, but right. Beauty of the Duty. Do you know that you alone can light the universe with a thought, with the power of will? There's nothing that you cannot do, cannot do. Do you know that you stop yourself because you're too afraid of doing bad? You don't do even half of what you could. But it's true, the only thing thing I promise you for my heart, after all this dreaming and my forthcoming campaign, nothing will hold you back. Keep going was just, when you have hope, it's so important to have hope. And then you do action. But in those action, you have all time stuff that holds you back. So we are going together to find what holds each of us back and thrive. See you tomorrow, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for being part of my life. Tomorrow is a big chapter. Every day will be a big chapter. Lots of love. Bye-bye.